What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, tonight marks the day of the highly anticipated Unification Showdown between two-time junior middleweight WBC world champion, superstar boxer Jermell Charlo and unified junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer Jeison Rosario. And a lot of people have been asking me my predictions, so I'm going to do it. I am picking, for one, let's get this straight. Jeison Rosario made a huge splash and a huge entrance to the sport of boxing, to the casual fan, should I say, when he defeated and knocked out Julian J. Rock Williams, who had previously beaten unified world champion undefeated superstar boxer Swift Jarrett Hurd in an upset in Jarrett Hurd's hometown of Maryland. Then in J-Rock's hometown in Philadelphia, Jeison Rosario made a splash and upset him. But prior to that, Jeison Rosario was well touted, right? He came from the Dominican Republic. He was undefeated. He was knocking people out. And when he made his debut in the States, he faced a guy by the name of Nathaniel Gallimore, who at the time already had losses on his resume. So he faced Nathaniel Gallimore, and he was the favorite in that fight. A lot of people pegged him to knock out Nathaniel Gallimore. But in a stunning upset, Nathaniel Gallimore lands a barrage of left hooks and straight right hands and TKOs, dropped him 3 times in one round and TKOs him. Referee stops it, calls a halt to the fight, right? And he badly hurt Nathaniel Gallimore in the first round of that fight. And in the second round, he hurt Nathaniel Gallimore with a jab and a straight right. But one thing that jumped right out at me when I went and replayed the Jeison Rosario versus Nathaniel Gallimore and Jeison Rosario versus Julian J. Rock Williams was how easy Gallimore and Williams counterpunched Jeison Rosario with big, clean punches, which ultimately resulted in Gallimore stopping him. The issue with J. Rock Williams, unlike Nathaniel Gallimore, is Nathaniel Gallimore's chin allowed him to recover. J. Rock Williams' chin deceived him. And what I mean by that is Nathaniel Gallimore proved to be more durable in his fight with Jeison Rosario than J. Rock Williams was. He was able to withstand the onslaught from Jeison Rosario opposed to J. Rock Williams. Because if you go back and watch the fight, Julian J. Rock Williams landed some big, beautiful, clean combinations on Jeison Rosario. But Jeison Rosario has this very, very sturdy chin. And so it's going to take more than one clean combination to get him out of there. You have to be durable. You have to be able to withstand what he's dishing out. And then I believe he wears down like he did with Nathaniel Gallimore. Because he takes big, clean punches like Jarrett Hurd. Now he's a big, powerful guy. I think he has more power than Swift Jarrett Hurd. But he's eerie similar to Jarrett Hurd when it comes to defense. And a lot of people are overlooking that. Now, on the flip side, when you look at Jermell Charlo, he has a loss on his resume at the hands of what many may call the best pure boxer in the junior middleweight division, 154-pound division, in Tony Harrison. All Tony Harrison losses, he was up in the fight, with the exception, you could argue, he was losing the second fight with Jermell Charlo. But all his fights, the Swift Jarrett Hurd fight, he was winning that fight. He was clearly winning that fight. And he made a mistake. And he paid for the mistake, right? But that was a fight that he was winning. That was a fight he was winning. The first fight with Jermell Charlo, I thought at the very most, it should have been a draw. But they gave him the victory. I personally thought Jamel won that fight. Tony Harrison has 3 losses. Obviously, he was just stopped in his last fight against Jermell Charlo. The Jarrett Hurd fight, like I mentioned, he was stopped in that fight, but he was winning that fight. And the Willie Nelson fight, he was winning that fight and he got stopped in that fight because he made a mistake. He gets lapped. He has these lapses and he gets lax in the fight that he's winning so easily because he's a beautiful boxer, pure boxer, that he goes through these lapses. He has these mental lapses in the ring, and every single time he does it on this level, his opponent makes him pay for it. So with that said, that's the only loss on Jermell Charlo's resume, was to the best pure boxer. And Jermell Charlo, let's not forget, the first half of his career, he was a great pure boxer. So Jermell Charlo was counterpunching and at times outboxing a pure boxer, the best pure boxer. I know people will point to Erislandy Lara, but I don't believe that Erislandy Lara is a better pure boxer than Tony Harrison. Erislandy Lara has better movement. He uses, should I say, he uses unnecessary movement all too often, and he's a southpaw. He has a beautiful jab left hand, he's a southpaw. So I can see how people can confuse that with being a better boxer than Tony Harrison. But on the inside, see, Tony Harrison could outbox you from the outside, but Tony Harrison could box you and make you miss in a phone booth on the inside. That's what Erislandy Lara cannot do. Erislandy Lara wants to have a finesse boxing match. He wants to box you from the outside. When you get close to Erislandy Lara, he may land a clean punch here and there, but for the most part, he's trying to retreat out of the pocket or he'll tie you up. That's not Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison will throw combinations on the inside, and he could, push you around on the inside. So the fact that Tony Harrison can give it to you on the inside and the outside gives him the advantage, in my opinion, being a better pure boxer than Erislandy Lara, because Lara is one-dimensional. He got to do it from the outside. Tony Harrison can do it from the inside or the outside. So with that said, I said Tony Harrison is the best pure boxer. And then second, I would say it's Jermell Charlo. For the same reason I just gave Tony Harrison, I'm giving it to Jermell Charlo over Erislandy Lara. Especially at this point in time in Erislandy Lara's career. Jermell Charlo can outbox you from the outside. That's what he was known for. And Jermell Charlo, his twin brother, was known to be the knockout artist. But then a switch flipped and he started knocking people out. So now he can give it to you either way. That's the difference between Jermell Charlo and Tony Harrison. That's what makes Jermell Charlo the better boxer than Tony Harrison. Because he could outbox you from the outside. He can outbox you on the inside. But he has the power to knock you out from the outside or the inside. That's the advantage he has over Lara and Tony Harrison. Which makes Jermell Charlo the best junior welterweight, junior middleweight, super welterweight in the world. And so with that said, I'm saying this to say is that Tony Harrison beat Jermell Charlo the first time because of his pure boxing skills, and it was a high-level chess match that Tony Harrison was landing very, very clean punches on. But you have to remember and keep in mind how many times Jermell Charlo was countering him, beating him to the punch, and hurting Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison didn't hurt Jermell Charlo. Multiple times in the fight, the first fight, Jermell Charlo hurt Tony Harrison. And then obviously in the second fight, he dropped him, I think it was 3 or 4 times, and he stopped him. So, I'm going to say this. I believe that Jeison Rosario is definitely a good boxer. But Jermell Charlo is the best junior middleweight in the world. because he's the total package. And I think that people are overstating the power of Jeison Rosario. They're being a prisoner of the moment and looking at what Jeison Rosario did to Julian J. Rock Williams, but they're not looking at what Jermell Charlo does great compared to what Julian J. Rock Williams came up short doing. Okay? J. Rock Williams wasn't able to take that punch. You've never seen Jermell Charlo in that compromised position like you see Julian J. Rock Williams in multiple times. He was very hurt badly in the fight with Hurd. He won the fight, but he was hurt in that fight badly. He was knocked out by Jermell Charlo, Big Charlo. He was hurt bad against Ishe Smith. You understand? So we've seen Julian J. Rock Williams hurt before. We saw that movie before. We knew the ending. We knew the possibility of that, right? That wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first rodeo for Julian J. Rock Williams, who is a high-level skilled boxer. But he makes grave mistakes, and his chin don't always support what he's trying to do in the ring. His chin deceives him. You never see Jermell Charlo's chin deceive him. We've never saw that. We've never saw Jermell Charlo hurt badly. And you've seen Jermell Charlo hit with big, clean punches at times, especially from Tony Harrison. Jeison Rosario, to me, is a more technical version of Jarrett Swift Hurd, offensively. But defensively, he's Jarrett Swift Jarrett Hurd all over again. And you can't have that type of defense and that type of boxing style. Styles make fights. You can't have that type of boxing style and that type of defense when facing a guy like Jermell Charlo. It's not going to work. I always peg Jermell Charlo to beat Swift Jarrett Hurd because of that. Because he gets hit too cleanly and Jermell Charlo has too much power. Now, Jeison Rosario may have more power than Jermell Charlo, but he don't have the complete package like Jermell Charlo. He doesn't have the boxing ability from the inside and the outside. He doesn't have the defense of Jermell Charlo. He doesn't have the discipline of Jermell Charlo. He makes mistakes in the ring that he pays for. It's just that most guys don't make him completely pay like Nathaniel Gallimore did. Nathaniel Gallimore completely made him pay. That's the reason why Nathaniel Gallimore stopped him. So my prediction is this. Jermell Charlo will stop him by the 8th round. And I'm leaning towards the 6th round. I'm thinking that Jermell Charlo will probably knock him out in the 6th round. But I definitely don't see it going past the 8th round. Now, anything is a possibility. This is the sport of boxing. So it could go to 12 rounds. My prediction could be wrong, but I'm almost certain it's not wrong. Jermell Charlo is going to win this fight. And he's going to do it in dramatic fashion. And I don't want people to take anything away from Jermell Charlo's victory over Jeison Rosario and then say he was a one-trick pony against Julian J. Rock Williams anyway. Jermell Charlo will be the unified WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine World Champion. And he will be in the top 3 pound for pound after he gets this victory tonight. And I want everybody to give him his roses for beating Jeison Rosario, because there's a lot of people picking against him and picking Jeison Rosario solely because they're being prisoners of the moment. And the last time you seen Jeison Rosario was him pulling off an upset in Julian J. Rock Williams' backyard in a fight that he was an underdog, and it was supposed to be a homecoming fight en route for Julian J. Rock Williams to face Jermell Charlo and get an opportunity to rectify the loss on his career, on his resume, to Jermell Charlo's twin brother, Jermell Charlo, who knocked out Julian J. Rock Williams. The storyline was there. But like I said, I think that people are being a prisoner of the moment and not understanding the shortcomings of Julian J. Rock Williams on defense and the fact that his chin has deceived him on multiple occasions, and thinking that Jeison Rosario's power is going to come up big against Jermell Charlo. Now, anything's possible. Obviously, he has power in both hands. But the fact remains is that we saw a guy like Nathaniel Gallimore hurt in multiple times in the fight, with Jeison Rosario, and Jeison Rosario couldn't close the show. Nathaniel Gallimore was able to recover. And we've never seen Jermell Charlo's chin deceive him or in a compromised position. So what leads me to believe that Jeison Rosario could hurt Jermell Charlo and close the show? He couldn't do it against Nathaniel Gallimore. Nathaniel Gallimore just got outclassed and was hurt multiple times against Erickson Lubin, who Jermell Charlo knocked out in one round. So I'm picking Jermell Charlo to win by the eighth round, TKO, and become the unified WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine World Champion, and place himself top 3 pound for pound in the sport of boxing. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.